Live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to another scene set in Vampire the Requiem. Requiem for London. Tonight, the scene is set within Epping Forest. Prime territory for the crone, but tonight the forest is ruled by the Gangrel. This kindred from all over the domain and some just beyond its outskirts gather to discuss the future of their clan in London and their own personal vendettas. The meeting is due to take place deep within the woods itself. The area rife with unlife. The woods seeming just a little bit unnatural. The animals just a bit too jittery, aggressive, and violent, predatory. The branches of trees seeming to move as if they were alive. Almost as if they were pointing you in various directions. Until you make it to the meeting area. A simple large gathering of a gangrel, some sitting on logs and tree stumps, others simply standing, some the birds sitting on the branches of trees, others foxes and wolves. But there are many here. And in the middle of the circle sits a simple cairn. Bunch of simple stones built on top of each other. The only thing of structure for a good mile or two. And around this circle, around this cairn, Volder are many kindred. Only 8 stand out to you. Only 8 you recognize or come across as particularly abnormal. First, of course, is the elder of the crone, a gangrel witch called Mona. Off to her side, a good distance from her, 2 gangrel eyeing her up, is your sire and grandsire, Alley Cat. Julian, you recognize Lenistav. Isabel does as well. He is the local head of the Sworn of the Axe. Then there is a dark-haired woman you don't recognize. None of you do. But she's noteworthy because her predatory aura comes across as particularly overwhelming. There is a sort of violence to it. There's a sort of fear it plants in your own beast as you look at her. Then there is Hamal, which most of you know is a harpy for the Invictus. Then finally is a large man with a fairly dark skin, and everybody can roll me intelligence politics to know who this is.
Can possibly intelligence, occult, especially Gangrel lore help me with this?
They're not a historical figure within the clan. If they were a particularly old kindred or noteworthy individual within the clan, I'd say yes. But they aren't, so unfortunately no, sorry.
Damn. Nope.
But yeah, everybody can roll this. Why aren't you rolling?
Oh,
All
it
years for my head politics.
It was intelligence. It was intelligence politics.
Yeah.
I know
That's
most of you do not have that as a stat.
Yeah.
Gangrel, dude.
That's why I brought up Gangrel lore. It's like I'm studying that.
Deeply disappointed in all of you.
But I think Victor, he has Gangrel. He probably has politics. Ask him. And Alley Cat might have it, but she's not here right now.
It. Saskia, roll me your intelligence politics.
No, she better be like 5 minutes ago.
Fine, I'll roll a chance
I'll
die.
heck and roll my chance die.
So Saskia, if you're there,
Just so we can start off with some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
That's a dramatic failure. No, it's not. No, it's not actually.
Say
Not
nobody is
quite.
surprised.
You are just one. Take away one from that, and it can be a dramatic failure. You can always choose to take the dramatic failure.
This isn't important to take the dramatic failure. But also, I don't know anyone, so I'm totally taking the dramatic failure. I absolutely do not know who that person is. I'm convinced this is Dracula.
Dracula.
It's the worm.
It's the worm.
It's the worm.
All of your botches are going to make you think you're talking to the worm until you're playing with a character that actually knows what the worm is.
Wait, is the worm a thing in this genre?
No.
No.
It is now.
All the more reason to consider it. Oh dear. Also, everybody roll in dice roller 1, so I can keep track. Otherwise, I have to keep switching between dice channels. But you also rolled a failure, didn't you?
Sure did.
Oh no. Do you want to take the dramatic failure?
Sure, why not? Me and my kid are equally dumb.
Okay, yeah. Is Damien? Damien isn't taking a dramatic failure. If I
Oh, he's
recall.
not?
I'll take the dramatic failure. Fuck
Okay.
it.
All right. You are both resolute in your conclusion that this person is a no-name fledgling.
Like that guy.
Basically, fuck that guy.
As the no-name fledgling here, fuck that guy.
Yeah. This guy's even more no-name than Damien. At least Damien has a reputation for being at places of importance.
I'm gonna kick sand in his face.
Yeah.
What are we rolling?
Intelligence plus politics.
Dice roller 1.
I don't have politics.
Oh, so we really all don't have it?
We're all bad at stuff.
Wait, how do you not have politics? You have cacophony, Sandy.
I have cacophony sanity. I don't have
I'm a
politics.
little like goon. I don't know what everyone else's excuse
That's
is.
like important to cacophony, Sandy.
Yeah. I mean, I just forward the information. I don't do anything with it.
Oh my god.
God.
Do you want me to roll for cacophony savage? Like, can I replace it with that? I'm cool with that.
I would like-
You can actually read. You can actually use getting up as a substitute for intelligence plus politics, as that will actually provide you with the same degree of information.
I would like to roll to diabolize my clan.
Like all of it?
Oh, like all of it.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
This will be the quickest combat I've run in this venue so far.
Gangrel meeting is really
the
just a
whole clan
battle
in a
royale.
turn.
Gangrel meeting is just a battle royale.
Oh yeah, how damaged is Damien, by the way? Is
He's down to 2 lethal right now.
Okay, that's good.
What was I replacing what with? Like, sorry, I couldn't hear you.
The first order cacophony sever is called Getting Up, which allows you to roll intelligence plus streetwise for rumors.
Oh, I have streetwise with a specialty in rumors.
Yee.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, I'm terrible. If that works, probably not. Just dice roller 1, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. Boy.
She at least knows.
Okay.
On success. If trained observer works, I might have more dice or things to roll at it.
All right.
I don't know
So
what you're observing.
one of you doesn't know who it is. Two of you are convinced that this person is a fledgling whose sand you can kick in their face.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
And Alley Cat understands them to be an archon for the sheriff.
Oh, great. Well, you always made me trip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm staying away from that guy.
To noticed, Thistle isn't here, is she? I honestly expect her to come to Gangrel meeting, but gotta take notice.
She is here. I don't have her overlay up. I'll put down all the kindred that are physically present, apart from Miss Thistle. Go. That one. This a lovely gentleman. Where is he? Oh, and Izzy, your big bro is here.
Wait, who's here?
Oh, I need to.
You say my brother's here?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me get him
Hello?
up for you. Yep, your brother is here.
Oh shit! I was ready to lie and say I had never seen him.
Nope.
I didn't know he was showing up places. Nice.
He is present. 1 second, let me get him up for you.
Oh shit! Is my daddy showing up? Because it's about to get awkward.
Your sire is present. Jonathan and
Yeah.
he are sitting on are standing on opposite sides of the cairn. John has also brought his familiar with him though. His for people who've met Jonathan, I think it's just Izzy.
No, no, Doc.
Oh yeah, you met Jonathan as well. Yeah, he has a little border collie with him. A lot of the Gangrel have their familiars with them right now. About a bare majority of Gangrel at this place seem to have familiars of their own, or at least are publicly brought them.
Yeah, Gangrels don't have trophy. The lovers, they have trophy animals.
They have trophy pets. Oh, there you go. Should be everyone. Oh, apart from old Johnny. Poor Johnny. There we go. So those are all the figures present. Or at least all those that appear to have secured themselves an inner circle position at the cairn.
Oh shit, my sire is here.
Your sire and your grandsire is here.
Oh well, that's gonna be interesting.
Am I the only one that doesn't have family issues?
Pretty much.
Yes.
You're literally the only guy who doesn't have a horribly dysfunctional relationship with their sire.
Hey, I have
Yeah,
a
get on
pretty
with my
fine
sire.
relationship with my sire.
Lovely.
Yeah,
So at least.
I haven't diabolized my sire yet.
Good for you, Alley Cat. But the Karen, the way the Gangrel are structured here, it seems to be that the strongest actually get to speak, and the weaker ones get to speak later. If someone can physically remove you from your speaking position, and they get to speak in your stead.
Unless we're gonna have a ceremonial, Gangrel handshake, which is a fist fight. We want to keep fighting to a minimum today.
But does anybody want to have any words with any of the Gangrel gathered before the meeting starts proper?
Julie would look over to Jonathan and kind of give him a nod and say to him, because then again, this is the first meeting to be in, but nonetheless, we'll say it's surprising to see you here. Good to see you.
Someone's got to be the straight man.
Oh yes, we're all jokers here.
I mean, I'm the only person who's not going to feed you a line of bullshit.
I haven't seen a Gangrel that lied to me yet. So I know that.
Well, either you're very lucky or very gullible.
Yeah, probably a mixture.
Well, at least you're self-aware. His eye contact with you constantly floats between him and an aging-looking man on the other side of the cairn. Who's
Julian
just
is
standing.
Julian is aware of the complicated life that is Jonathan. People like him. So I into that. Keep that information to. I need to know they got enough shit to worry about. But he will say, I hope you've been treating my brother well, and I'm not looking.
I haven't done anything untoward, if that's what you're trying to say.
For the most part. I don't mean this as a proper threat.
That's fine. I'm not taking anything you say as a threat.
Nice to know that I can be underestimated.
Mm. Well, we'll see if you can get a word in edgeways then. Isabella or Damien have anything to say to anybody at the meeting? Or other?
Not publicly.
I don't know anyone here.
It's true. Damien is like... Damien's moved to a new school now. Doesn't know anybody. He's scared. Instead of introduce himself before the class. It sucks. Alley Cat, though.
Not publicly.
All of you and your secrets.
So it's a meeting of the family, the clan, the Gangrel. Why are y'all so mistrusting?
Hey, I'm not mistrusting. I was very obvious about my intent.
Julian has been very honest in his intent. Oh,
I don't really have any intent. I don't even really want to be here. I got shit to do.
that's kind of why you're here, isn't it? You have shit to do?
Yeah. I don't know if. Well, I'm probably gonna. I mean, I'm gonna just stick around Damien probably. If anybody comes and like talks to me, I'm probably gonna keep eyes on my sire just to see like what he's doing.
Not much. He hasn't blinked ever since you started staring at him.
God damn it.
Every time every now and then his gaze switches from Jonathan to Mona. In anticipation.
That's interesting.
Well, I'm a bit curious. Actually, I guess I should probably talk to her in private about that boom. The previous keeper, me and Dragon, thinking about cash that in for if he's sitting on it.
Oh, pardon, sorry? You broke up a bit there.
I said, I actually want to talk to the previous keeper, but that probably should be in private. That's referring to the boom he has for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Because he's technically not the head; he's second in command, but the other act. Head one is Mukai.
Yeah, the head of the axe is also the Kogan. So
I would go over to him and kind of incline my head respectfully. He's still technically, well, he was my teacher at a time.
he acknowledges you.
And I'll ask him, no, this is your... Do we have official names in New World Darkness? I think in the Old World there's specific word about. Nonetheless, I'll just say, this your first meeting, or...
Don't normally waste my time on these.
What changed today?
We're in a war.
We are in the war, but this is not a place of covenant. It's supposed to be a place of family.
Which means it's a place of opportunity.
You know, answer that.
Everybody hears a clap as a clash of a literal lightning bolt just falls from the sky and strikes the center of the cairn. When everybody sort of looks to it, they can see that Mona was the one who clapped her hands. And she and a couple of other Gangrels step forward. The wolf, Caliborn, and to people's surprise, definitely to Damien and Isabella's surprise, that random fledgling. Moment. You see them stare each other down, and the predatory auras of each flare briefly. Microphone messed up for a second there. As their predatory auras flare, there is a brief burst of violence from all of them. Within a few seconds, the only ones still standing in front of each other are Mona and the wolf. Having within a blur of moment torn chunks out of each other.
That's round.
The other two Gangrel swiftly retreat from the circle. Fledgling. Oh. It's a moment to stay. But you can already see that distortions. Backs away. The wolf then takes an odd posture and simply does a very polite, shallow bow to Mona before stepping to the side, but to her side. Clanmates. My children and cousins, we have much to discuss. Stories to share. And demands to make of each other. I will start. Takes a deep pause, sort of gazes the Gangrel to see can you really challenge our statement. She stops on Damien for a minute.
Just matches right over.
And with his introductions must also be made. She gives a very overtly predatory smile.
I think we just have Damien. Hi.
Wednesday. Few of you that don't either very brave or very foolish. A few months ago, there was a most violent attack on our museum. I still remember that evening quite freshly. of what happened last night. We can still remember logs and violence among those beasts was a terrible sight. Degree of carnage has caused even the hardiest amongst us. An act of carnage caused precipitated by the sanctified reset. And since then, the declaration made by the sanctified in the movement waging there, I've decided to wage my own. Many of you who pay attention already know about the death of Bishop Rivest, dead in my hand.
Would that be another attempt at politics to recognize that name?
Yeah, you can, well, he said Bishop Rivest, so probably a sanctified, just going off the title, but you can roll me a politics check if you want, everybody can actually. But you all know this guy is of the sanctified, as you recognise the term bishop as very
replace-
sanctified title.
Can I replace with cacophony again?
Yeah.
Roll a chance on this. Nope. So.
Alican, you're aware Bishop Truman Rivest was the Bishop of Enfield, a borough in London, neighbouring the Circle of Crone. You caught word through the cacophony, but also publicly, that it had fallen to the Circle quite recently. Rivest was believed to have died defending what he perceived as sanctified. either the Crone have spun a very convincing narrative, or Mona is very much telling the truth. Rivers was not an elder. He was an old anciller, close to elder status, but not an elder.
I will say ask this. Technically, with the big conflict going around the city, it was mainly the Invictus and the Ordo versus the Lankea versus the Carthian. The Prones were relatively out of it. That technically kind of makes them involved now.
Pardon?
I'm saying just the general political landscape. Though I don't recognize this man, the Crone have technically dealt a blow to the Lankea, and the big conflict right now has been the Lankea and the Carthian movement versus the Invictus and parts of the Ordo. So the Crone were technically out of this particular large-scale conflict. Now they are technically involving themselves. So Goodman is gonna kind of quirk up an eyebrow to that.
Ever since that night, we've continued to push against the orders of the Sanctified, breaking you apart piece by piece. It won't be long until the Sanctified no longer exist within London. It won't be long until the steel herself stains my hands.
Yeah, Goodman definitely frowns at that. And it kind of gauges, because I'm curious, because it's not obvious, I guess, to anybody, but I'm curious if there's any Lankea amongst us who's like, is he okay with her to say this kind of shit?
The Sanctified, yeah, there don't seem to be many among the Gangrel. They are present. It's noteworthy their disdain for Mona, but they're not challenging her words.
But you react first.
You don't know them, which means they're probably quite young.
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing Goodman's getting away from this is like, you weren't even really involved with this fight, now you're basically mooning the Lankea, like, ha ha ha, coming for you next. And to say that, oh, well, let's get rid of all the Lankea in the city, it's like, we really should be doing that. But obviously, I am young and I cannot speak for her.
I'd like you to know that I saw the city at the time. It was never too late for you. simply avoid them. You'll survive.
I know this pretty much in character. To speak my opinion about this would be really dumb. But I am curious with a cult check. What would be a good way to present my concerns to Mona's declaration? Or that be an etiquette check?
Maybe a socializing.
No socialize. I don't think I have that. I got persuasion. I get. I do not have socialize. I have persuasion. And that's only a -1.
Definitely a social.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. Well, it's not a chance die, it's just a single die.
No, that's doable. You're not drawing in your favour, but they're welcome. So close. No, you can still speak, but it will just be considered out of turn.
Now, Julie would think about this because he's thinking about just the general legend of the Gangrel, and one thing we are also trailblazers and rebels. And she's basically saying, "You better fall in line." I was like, "Man, I've heard this story before. We didn't take it very well." So, Goodman would say, "We're also a clan of rebels and trailblazers. How you speak reminds us of how our own oppressors speak to us at a different time."
So what did you say? Can actually be over the sounds of rain.
Oh, he says, basically, her words sound just like the oppressors that tried to oppress us at a time.
She takes a single step towards you, Julian. Oppressor, please explain. As far as I'm concerned, I'm liberating a domain from those that would persecute us. They have.
And he nods.
The Sanctified have declared quite the edict of extermination upon many of us.
Yeah, they have honored Elder, but their utmost destruction, I would think, should be only if necessary. If the Lankea were just as destructive and incompetent as they were, they wouldn't be in the city in the first place.
We have seen how destructive and incompetent kindred have made it into London before. This is simply the purpose of war, to cull the incompetent and destructive. From the chat. As it were.
So, yes, Honored Elder.
They are simply being removed from the Ventry's little board.
Is that weird that she brings up specifically the Venture?
Venture of a thing for manipulating people.
That is true, but they're also, because, again, Julian's understanding the Gangrel, they're still our siblings. They're still our siblings.
Trust me, mister. And then she just stops. She places a hand on your shoulder. Oh. She's waiting for you to give you your name, Julian.
Oh. And he says, I'm Mr. Goodman. So, Julian T. Goodman.
She looks at you with a degree of recognition. Mr. Goodman, I'm only trying to do the city a service.
And he again nods his head. I've spoken out of turn enough. I won't hold you back any further, Elder.
Good. She'll release her hand from your shoulder and return to the now broken Karen. Julian, I need you to make me a few rolls.
Let's do this.
Alright, 1 second. I just need to check a couple of things real quick.
I'll let you know if I have any merits that defend that keep myself from not getting totally fucked.
Mostly fucked. Right. Oh, what? There we go. Okay. Roll me your Your no, that's not helpful. Stamina plus your blood potency.
Gotcha. And I assume this is a physical effect.
Your resilience as a player adds to your stamina.
Okay. And I have stamina of 6 plus my blood potency, which is 1, so that's 7 dice.
You roll this twice.
Alright. 1 success. 2 successes.
Okay. Red vapor begins to emit from Julian's mouth, nose, and ears. Even his skin, even the pores on his skin. As everybody can smell the scent of vitae as a red mist begins to leave him and simply drift into the wind. Julian, you lose 4 blood points.
Yeah, I know. I assume this is also very painful.
It
I'm sorry, I didn't
it's
see.
very-
Oh.
Yeah, it feels like the vitae is being ripped from your body, though that doesn't. That's not how it appears to everybody else. Roll me a frenzy check, please.
That's
What's your current blood pool when it's -4?
I made a blood pool 2.
Lose 4 dice to your control check.
Yep, which that is my willpower, which is 6. That's 2 dice, and I don't believe I'm allowed to ride the rave on this particular one. Because I had to think of a goal in mind, and the goal in mind is not to keep calm. Let's see. And is it okay to spend a willpower?
That will give you an extra dice and a turn of control.
Okay. So I guess that's a good question then. Can I ride the wave? Because I might be better off just riding the wave than going to hunt again.
You can ride the wave, yeah. You'll need to go hunting though.
Yeah, that's what I'll give myself a goal. Alright. Oh!
Excellent roll, exceptional success.
Yeah, I got all my willpower back.
Get all your willpower back. So your fight with the beast renews your strength. Is
Yeah, I lose my addiction condition too. Yes!
oh, yeah. Finally. As Julian eyes looks very cold. His body even goes limp for a brief moment before he simply begins to walk away from the cairn. And Julian, you'll be gone for a few minutes. But you will return. You will return. And then we'll simply say, does anybody else wish to interrupt? No? Good. My apologies for the incomplete story. But I felt it more appropriate to tell you one as it was unfolding in real time. She looks to the wolf, will then step forward. If you have any words, feel free to speak. He steps forward and then just in a very stiff fashion, just points at Isabella and Damien. You two, come here.
I'll skip over if Isabella goes over. But I'm waiting for Terry. 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 She's old, she fell asleep.
If Terry fell asleep, I'm gonna kill Isabella right now.
I won't stop you.
I'll even let you eat her if you want.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it anyway.
Excellent.
Terry.
Terry. God damn it, Terry. I'm gonna spam her now. Well, Terry has fled in panic. I don't blame her.
Every time.
Terry.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Sorry, Jesus.
The wolf points at both you and Damien and just tells you to come in.
Okay.
Yeah, we're both going over.
So she'll look at Damien real fast, and then she'll just she'll walk forward. She's trying her best to not show any emotion.
Please introduce me to your child.
She'll look over at Damien and then look up at the wolf. Damien Jameson. He's the one I secured in the hunt for the revenants.
Disappointed you fled from me.
Get that a lot.
Irrelevant. I wish for the reunification of my family.
I apologize for leaving. I think hiding is counterproductive. I'm sorry for my disrespect.
It is. The most important fact is that we learn from our mistakes. When he says it is, he just looks starkly at Jonathan. He narrows his eyes. He actually just says, quite brazenly, "I'm right here, asshole."
She'll laugh a little bit at that.
Take your shot or don't, but don't waste my fucking time with innuendo, prick. There is a complete absence of a response from the wolf. I look forward to working with you again. But, expect results in your child.
He's been able to acquire some interesting information.
Such as
What's actually happening in the sewers.
tell us.
Looks over at Damien.
He just stares at Isabella. You ever heard of a gray man?
No.
That makes this story harder. Anyway, there's a grey man.
Some people
mean-
in the crowd do seem to recognize the name.
Anyway, there's a grey man. He's in the sewers. He's making revenants. He's aligned himself with the owls.
Herein lies the actual problem in the city. Take away the sex and the infighting, we still have the owls and a sewer overrun with revenants.
Serious. Problematic, but not exactly world-breaking for us.
The fact that they're working with Kindred to create revenants. The fact that they're very obviously pulling the strings of a lot of the chaos in the city right now.
To what extent and to whom? Are there those among our clan who believe are willingly working with these creatures?
None that I'm aware of, but they're in thick with. Hesitates, looks over at Damien. The Revenants are very tangled up with the Carthians, from my understanding of it.
Ali can roll properly savvy.
Okay, with what, or just plain cacophony savvy?
The first merit point.
Intelligence?
Intelligence plus 3 merit.
Okay.
Okay. You're aware of the term Greyman at the very back of your memory. Greyman, you remember, was the leader of the Carthians first. He died 20 years ago in the first war between the Carthians and the Invictus, as the establishment ripped him apart in the streets.
Okay.
So it seems odd to you that he is being brought up again, considering that he is confirmed by both the Carthians and the Invictus to be dead.
Terry, would you mind actually, because I couldn't quite catch your entire sentence there, and that sounds kind of important, so could you please repeat that?
Oh, I just said the Revenants are very deep in with the are very deep into
Okay.
Carthian territory, I think is how I phrased it. The man the Grey Man, he, I guess, was presumed dead, and it seems he's got a vendetta against the Carthians and the Invictus, but the Revenants are still they've been in the Carthian territory for a long time. I think the Carthians have been aware of them and aware of the extent, at least some of the extent to which they were there. How deep it goes, I don't know, but that's my understanding of it.
I had heard Stanford wanted to send Kindred to investigate the sewers. Perhaps you should join them and report any additional findings.
Of course.
It is good to see the family rejoined once again.
I appreciate you taking me back.
Yes. You may return to where you once were.
She'll go back to wherever she was.
His eyes don't really leave you. Next up. A couple of kindred. Sadie and the former keeper. Cannibal takes a moment to survey the cairn and will sprout large wings and gain some height. Do not believe everything you hear this evening. The crone does not stand united against the sanctified or for the Invictus. It is not our wish to see this domain crushed under our boot heel. But I do ask for your help. There have been many wrongs committed to our clan, and even by our clan within our circle. Minds broken and twisted by our younger brothers and sisters of adventure. And those complicit. She stares at Mona when she says that. Mona simply smiles back. Doesn't appear to give the accusations much credence. The broad blonde gentleman steps forward. Julian, you return. I'll say you've managed to gather 2 blood points to slate your first somewhat
Gotcha.
But animals are difficult to hunt and do not taste like they're worth a drink. See, as you return from your hunt, Giorgio, stepping forward to face a woman who's sort of hovering in the air with giant bird wings sprouting from her back.
Well, that means she's a master protean. Get that, or at least high up there.
Sounds very much like a crone problem and not a gangrel problem. Anybody say anything in response to that?
Not even being nepotistic. He makes a valid point. Need to sound like crone problem, like gangrel problems.
And yet my own child had her mind broken for years before she was able to be revived. She is not the only one among our clan. We've been singled out. You might kill off the Sanctified, but how long do you think it will take until the crone turn their eyes to you next?
With what I've been know about a bit of that facility and just the general usage of people and other kindred, has there been a bigger focus on getting gangrel? Because I thought it's been relatively indiscriminate.
In regards to...
Kindred being sucked dry in those plants and possibly used as, mind slaves. Because the report I got from Baneforth and Irons, there doesn't seem to be a specific, there were obviously a large amount of group of gangrel that were being used.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, sorry.
Oh, you made it sound like that the gangrel were being focused on. I was like, I don't think that's true.
Well, they appear to be being focused on within the crone, if this was to be believed.
That's good. Honestly, I could have missed that report, but none of the reports ever brought up a specific group of kindred being attacked.
No. You wouldn't be aware of anything that is happening within the crone, but it's on this level. But if gangrel are being specifically singled out from the crone, it could be argued to be a gangrel issue, just one that is isolated to a particular covenant. But that is, of course, running under the assumption that this isn't in any way accurate or true. It is just a power play.
Unfortunately, I'm too hungry right now to really challenge them on this. I don't need to go into a frenzy and not be as controlled. So, Julian will say nothing.
The man who stepped away from the wolf and Mona earlier actually just takes a step forward now. Just heads straight up to the center of the circle. He has a shotgun on his person. He's the only heavily armed individual here, actually. He sticks out for that purpose. And alley catted is the Archon. He simply says, "This is off topic. I hear a bunch of kindred discussing their private vendettas and political goals. What did a Gangrel want? Why are we here? Are we here to make one of us a prince? Do we give a shit? What do we want? Which side do we want to be on? Why am I wasting my time here?" Why has a sum total of about 4 kindred spoken this entire fucking meeting?
And this, since I feel this kind of open the floor, Jill would say, "And why are we speaking like we're in a political boardroom? Our way has always been spoken in ways of ancient rhetoric and tales."
I don't give a damn about either of those things. I just want some fucking direction.
Do we speak with a unified voice now?
No. But I'd rather have a raving mass of people talking over each other. And 3 elders acting as if they speak for all of us, when they very clearly fucking don't.
You just asked for direction and then you said the elders don't speak for you.
I'm not looking for direction from those people. Fuck.
This is the guy I think is a neonate, right?
This is the guy you think is a fledgling, yeah.
Sweet.
I'm looking for Gangrel, not Ventru. If I was looking for a Ventru, I'd just join Valerius and his merry fucking parade. So you two are talking now. What the fuck do you want?
I want to not watch the city burn because of some petty disagreements. I want everyone to go back to their corners and go on with their lives. That doesn't seem like much of an option.
Okay. As you say that, in response to the interruption, Mona appears to have had quite enough of all these snide insinuations at her character. And actually goes to make an example of this fledgling who, with quite a simple motion, just points the shotgun at her one-handed and blows off her arm as fire streaks out of the shotgun.
Wait, who is she shooting?
No,
he shoots Mona, who is the elder of the circle.
Oh.
Just blows off
Alright.
her arm. And,
I assume the bone and is still there, so she can still move it. Unless she really doesn't have any dots of resilience, but shame on her. Shame on-
she does, but damage of this magnitude is... it's difficult to soak all of it, even with the highest levels of resilience. Basically completely shatters her arm, rendering it completely useless as she draws back and hisses on the verge of frenzy. All of your beasts take a step back as a few of the Gangrel on the periphery do in fact burst into frenzy and...
Wait, is this place not been I'm gonna use sanctified, but has this place not been reinforced by that one level of animalism? Because
There's a devotion for it, but it's not very common.
no, I thought there was like a level 3 or level 4 power we can help keep frenzy down. I know there is the
Knows that
Yes.
power exists in Reckless, at least not in the books.
No, there's
Okay.
there is a devotion that does that.
There's a devotion
No.
which helps, it's called Reason Cylon, but it takes some setup to do.
no, because that's part of the reason why Gangrel actually chose to be keeper of Elysius, because they have a tendency to know that. So I'm thinking, wow, because we're all Gangrel here and we have a tendency to frenzy. It's like we didn't prepare for this. The hell.
To be fair, outside of that one devotion, there really aren't many powers that affect frenzy at all. And it's a fairly high
It would
level.
be great if I had an EpiPen around now.
If you had the Decapen.
One more week.
It's a Frenzipen. But he doesn't even really seem phased. He seems very used to this. The way in which he waves the gun around is very casual.
Well, got my attention.
I'm sorry, you couldn't finish your words.
No, I'm good. I was pretty much done.
Julian shakes his head, especially seeing some of the Gangrel in the back going in a frenzy.
Alley Cat's grandson is perched on a branch and just sort of laughs.
And I guess Julian will bring this up because he does make a valid point. Because is this an annual thing we're doing right now, or is this a sudden meeting?
This is a sudden meeting.
Yeah, so he will say this: is like, who sanctioned for this meeting, anyways?
Who do you think? He just points his gun casually at the person whose arm he just blew off. You can do it like that. And more than a few like that who aren't even here.
Yeah. Julian kind of spins scratching at his brow and realization and mild irritation.
Alley Cat, your side just kind of walks up to and Isabella will hear this. Just kind of walks up to this kindred, walks up to the Archon, just kind of quietly says to him, "Have you ever considered joining the Cardinals?"
Respect.
As the to which he just goes, "No." And as the meeting begins to deteriorate somewhat into, well, a morass of bickering Gangrel.
Shit. I am not the kind of person to put the ring, I guess, sanity back to a meeting like this.
Alright, if we want to party, there's a vampire in London who's older than London.
Yeah, he's that previous prince thing. I forgot his name, but I know what you're talking about. What about him?
He's Probably behind everything.
He's also Stanford's sire.
He's also Stanford's sire.
Oh,
Speaking of venture bullshit,
The fledgling, air quotes, speaks up and says, "For a moment I thought you were talking about Valerius."
yeah. That is that guy, right? At the game. It's very
I think
yes, right?
so. I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
You seem to have a bit of difficulty making up your minds there.
Hmm?
He just says
You're-
you seem to have a bit of difficulty making up your minds there.
About what?
About whom this shadow guy is.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Fazarius. Maybe.
regardless of the fact, there's always going to be a shadow man. The fact is, the city's going to tear itself apart, and the humans are going to notice, and that's going to be a big problem.
Man.
That's it. And I don't care if it was a Ventru, a Maquette, or another Gangrel causing this issue. Thing is, it is an issue, and we're Gangrel. We solve issues. We don't talk about them.
Looks around at the chaos. Yeah, we're so good at that.
Seems like the Carthians and the Sanctified starting this open war was a pretty bad fucking idea. Oh, I would have figured.
Yeah, I know. The people that have the most passion outside of the crowd making rash decisions. It doesn't change the fact that they did, and we need to do something about it.
What are you gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it?
So
Should we? That's the real
Alright, we
question. Nobody's
So we're just gonna
fucking
be-
answering.
we're just going to be hiding in the dirt and waiting for this to blow over?
I mean, that was my plan for a while.
And
It seems
this,
like a large portion of the bullshit in the city comes down to a conflict between three people that are willing to tear the entire city apart to see whoever lands on top.
So which one do we want to kill?
I'm good on all three at this point, honestly. But I'm open to other suggestions.
well, what kind of names do we actually have? You guys brought up Nefarious. I'm assuming the prince either works for him or is the other player, but I have no idea who this third person is.
Superman. Gray Man. Guardian dude. Died 20 years ago to the sheriff, who's also the prince.
Except he didn't die. He's in the
Wait,
sewers.
what?
Yeah,
Actually, when
apparently-
Damien says that, the bickering Gangrel sort of quickly, there's a sort of ripple of silence that kind of
I'm the-
ripples outwards from Damien's current position among the crowd of Gangrel. And everybody sort of
Ah.
turns, even Mona, who's busy healing her arm, and seemed to be making some bizarre incantation at this fledgling, stops and looks at you.
What? Am I the only one asking questions around here? Yeah, apparently the sheriff and the prince are the same person.
Wait, what? How the hell is he doing that?
I don't know. I'm the new kid here. You tell me.
How the fuck do you know this?
I went down to the sewers having a chat with the guy. Then I had to run away because he was like, help me. I want to kill Stanford because his sire is going to try and take over London. Now when you're teaming up with the elves, you're kind of a dick. Then he was like, stop that. And he sent on revenants after me, so I had to run away. Fucked up one of his revenants though. Like, he's just a mess on the floor.
This is a story I was trying to get you to tell 10 minutes ago.
Oh, you wanted the full details? I thought we were like,
Don't just go. And
Yeah, it
this is
would've
why I
been-
don't subscribe to any sectarian ideology.
same.
Oh no, fuck you. You're in deep.
And I guess another question I have to ask is: you keep bringing up the revenants. Are the revenants all being controlled by the owls? Because as far as I was aware up till this very point, the leader of the Revenants has been one, um, not exalted, but has been uplifted, and is still guiding them.
Since when was
Jake?
she uplifted?
The Jade Lady? No, she's with Stanford in the Canadians. She ran away when the Grey Man showed himself.
It's not all of them, but it's a good number of them.
It's most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just for out of character reasons, I thought Irons' child was the leader of the Revenants, or at least a leader of the Revenants.
Nope.
That's what I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Is that true, Chris? Or
What?
I thought Irons' child was the leader of the Revenants.
And Shoulder? No.
Then that was my mistake.
She was one of them.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I thought she was the or one of the leaders, and they're talking like there's more of them. I was like, well, how many more are there?
A lot.
She would appear to have clout among them, but official leader, certainly not.
Yeah, okay.
You could say she has sway.
Yeah, then I guess the real question is, how many Revenants are there?
A lot.
Too many.
Well, I don't need a lot. I need too many. I need some type of actual number. We're talking 50, 100, what?
When we went down there, it looked like hundreds, wasn't it? Like we're in hundreds.
Yeah, it's like
No.
a baker's dozen but multiplied a few times.
It's,
So you're
yeah,
telling me
it's-
there is a small village of Revenants under our feet right now?
Correct. And most of them are either possessed by or in what is essentially an owl cult, led by this Nosferatu who wants to kill Stamforth and the prince thought he killed 20 years ago.
Weird question. Are we able to turn into the Thing? Yeah, have you seen that movie?
It depends on what you mean by the thing.
Like the
Like the actual thing.
like the actual thing, like the.
There have been rumors of devotions of the Gangrel. I couldn't say that for sure.
Like this Grey Man went all, and then went super spider monster mode.
Oh, you didn't mention that part. That's gross.
That's how my back was fucked up. Still pretty fucked up. Do you know what? I'm gonna lift up my shirt and everyone can see these healing scars on my back. Where I was nearly bisected.
Tom just like takes a look at them.
Ugh.
Genuine.
It could never be simple.
So what's everyone else been up to?
I've been involved mainly with personal matters, if we're going to be honest.
But there is
Yeah, anyone-
the crowd you still have under your rapt attention, Damien.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
You want to do anything with this crowd?
What do I want to do with this crowd?
All eyes are on you currently.
I guess I'm Gangrel Prince now. So right now, what we need to do, stop all the fucking bickering, stop the Covenant fights, because it's just playing into their hands. We've got fucking Strix to deal with, we've got this weird elder thing going on, that's weird, but it's probably someone else's problem. Right now we need to basically burn the sewers to the ground. You wanna go ganking? I'm up for a ganking. I can't do it alone. It's supposed to be family, right?
I would bank that shit on coffee and turf. The Fledgling says.
Supposed to be family, but ultimately we're not. This is fun, guys. I'm out. See ya.
And he kind of looks at Alley Cat. Really looks at Alley Cat like, hey. I was like,
What?
obviously you're bothered by this. You know something? you're just gonna take your ball and go home. And kind of looks over a little bit, but not as harsh as he used to. Moreau, I was like, it seems to be a pattern with us a lot.
If she wants to go, she can go. We don't speak with a unified voice because we don't all believe in the same things. But one thing I think does unify us is we're not super keen on being the pawns of an elder fight.
You're gonna prove to me that you're not just a pawn, as we all are in this at this point.
Well, unlike typical pawns, we're kind of aware that we're being pawned.
Doesn't change your status, apparently.
Yeah, it doesn't change if you don't do anything about it.
Yeah, I'm at least a rook. I move in an L shape.
That's a knight, you're shit at chess.
I was gonna say.
Sadie will actually walk up to Alley Cat. She would just say, "We could really use the help, to be honest."
Could have really used like some reply or something. Talking about being family. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
So,
Oh, I need to make a roll. Okay, she succeeds. She looks very angry for a moment. Reply to what? I was torpid for weeks!
Not the only part of my family, aren't you? Kind of gives the air quotes.
But then why are you saying this to me?
You're the one actually walking up to me. It's not as if I haven't been trying to contact. You're not gonna tell me that you've been on stake this night and then immediately was dragged to this meeting.
I came out of my torpor 72 hours ago, Ali.
That's 72 hours in which you could have, like, texted, like, hey, I'm back.
Well, sorry if I'm trying to readjust to the fact that my entire life up until this point has been a fucking fabrication.
Sounds like a you problem.
okay, now Julian kind of. Can we all? Because definitely, unfortunately, he can hear this. Damn my acute senses. Damn my
Mood.
She no, she lashes out of you with her beast. Alley Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. There it is. Roll me a power trait, which is either strength, intelligence, or presence, plus your blood potency.
So strength, int, or?
Yes.
strength, intelligence, or presence.
Plus your blood potency. So one of those three
That's
stats plus.
really meager. They would all be the same, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Success.
Oh yeah, you feel you feel Sadie's beast immediately strike your own as you are left reeling. Twitchy, skittish, aggressive, and borderline feral. Gain the bestial condition for 2 nights.
Oh, she's gonna run off.
So much for the bond of survivors.
Oh, one thing I know for sure, we're more than simply survivors. Winners, too.
I don't feel like a winner.
You sound like a football coach.
It's like, well, unlike I feel like most of us here, I try to take in depth. I try to keep score. Try to keep aware of what our history actually is. At least what I can find of it.
A lot of us here are trying to move us like pieces. And people like that, and she points to Alley Cat as she runs away, are content to be moved. Fuck that. Can't believe I'm agreeing with a fucking Archon, but he's right. So what's your name? Damien, right?
Damien.
I'll help you out.
Cool.
These revenants need to be dealt with, and you're right, they're a greater threat to the city than any one of us are. Any one of us is.
Hell yeah.
The owls can't be permitted to stand, and I'm certainly not gonna allow the fucking Crone or the Invictus to attach them to the goddamn Carthians.
I'm all up for getting rid of our enemies, but they're revenants. Let's not forget, our beast will take notice of that. Depending on their nature, they could be innocent.
I've been studying this problem for months. I've been doing research on it from multiple angles. I don't like the idea of it, but I don't see any other solutions. There's just too many of them. It's not sustainable. I've been working to try to find a way to slow down the process, slow down what's happening to them, but ultimately they're far beyond anything that would even approach carrying capacity.
The Revenants are just foot soldiers for the Grey Man on his actual goal of killing Stanford. Take out one, we take out the other.
There is an audible low growl, though it's not a fury at your statement, it's more just irritation at this particular moment. Coming from Julian. I've had enough. I'm getting really tired of killing people that don't need to be killed. I'd rather save them, but points are valid.
Probably a few you can save, but last I was down there, they're all glowy eyes and smiley faces.
And that's another thing. Some revenants have been saved, and I can take kindly of us killing their friends.
Hello?
Laughs as you try to explain revenants to the revenant.
I'm all for standing up for the little guy, but I mean, these people are coming after us. So they're gonna attack us one way or the other.
Sooner or later, that tide's coming up to the surface.
I'm not denying that, but we're not the Lankaean Sanctum, and we go in a religious fervor against anything that's against us. We're more than that.
Have you been listening? It has nothing to do with religious fervor, or it has to do with a population of creatures that are going to kill themselves anyway and break the masquerade while they're at it. If you've got a better idea to figure out how to deal with 100 revenants, that are all possessed by owls or about to be possessed by owls or being controlled by owls? I would love to hear it.
I would love to give you an answer. I'm not just going to sit here and just think this is going to be okay. So, unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with my bitching for a few moments. Unless you think you can make me be quiet.
So that's one problem. Really, no one knew that the prince and the sheriff was the same person?
Makes sense, I guess. But we can cross that bridge later. Why, you want to take him out too? The Garfians are having
Does it ultimately matter? Here's my question. Like, does it ultimately matter that they're the same person?
It's a useful shield when you're not fighting a war, I guess. But now the sheriff has to go, well, fight an army. A mask protects you from the consequences of your actions, but it doesn't protect you from the consequences of a fist to one's face. Or a stake to the heart.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like if you were gonna lead a double life, like, pretend to be the leader of the Carthians or something. Go do something different. I don't know. That's just how I play it.
So, alright, we got targets. What's our priority? Should we deal with the owls and the revenants first, or?
I think the big one is we need the Ordo and the Crown to stop gangbanging the Sanctified for a few minutes. We can get fucking allies on that side of things too.
I can't speak fully for the Ordo, obviously, but a good portion of us, we may dislike or even hate the Linkhead, but we didn't want to go to war. They did that. And I tried talking Baneforth out of that.
It doesn't matter now. None of this matters now.
And if we're talking about also just sticking it to the Prince, as like I've been planning with this other squad of kindred to attack one of his, yeah, I guess this is the right word, military strongholds.
Yeah?
So, yeah, some type of private security, most likely PNC.
For what end?
Mainly in favor, at least on my end. But if this makes our job that much easier, then it's a bonus for us. Bonus for us, then, isn't it?
But wait, hold on, back up. But why? Are you stealing stuff? Are you doing reconnaissance? Are you just blowing, like, why?
So, like I said, I'm doing a favor for another person. He didn't tell me why.
Are you just going there? Like, how are you supposed to...
As far as I know, we're assaulting the place. Whether we steal something there or not, I don't know.
So he asked you, who asked him?
I don't know.
Does anyone else in this city ask questions?
Not that I don't ask questions, people don't give me answers. Look at you, you didn't tell us the full answer till halfway into this fucking argument.
I mean, I didn't feel like the prince and the sheriff being the same person was relevant. I just said that for attention. And get everyone to shut up for 5 minutes at work. Everyone's listening.
Yeah.
I mean, one person left. I don't know who that was.
Well, I would like to say, if we're gonna have a fucking meeting amongst the Gangrel, and we're talking about big city shit, we should give full reports, now shouldn't we?
Which is what we're doing. You're the one...
So ultimately, what do we want at the end of this? Like, Strix is a problem, Greyman's is a problem, So what's his name is a problem. These are all problems. We've got a few solutions. What are we wanting the Gangrel at the end of this? Like, we can fuck up some people, sure, but we're not gonna get any thanks for it.
And ultimately, what if it's going to matter? That's it at the end of the day. I'm fine to just retreat back to my lab and not give a shit about any of this, if we're being totally honest. But if we want to actually change something and we don't want to be under the thumb of this, like, playground fight between Ventrue and Nosferatu, then I am all up for forward momentum, but I'm not running into somewhere without a plan or even knowing who exactly I'm working for.
Well, then we do what we always do, Jonathan just says. Survive. You're right. Each and every one of us could probably just write this out underneath the earth. A lot of us don't have to give a damn. But the owls are a threat to our survival. Everybody's survival. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter what sect, doesn't matter what clan, but they're a threat to our survival. And clearly the other clans don't seem to give a shit, nor the other covenants, so it's down to us. And we don't need to do that for them, we do that because we want to live, and we don't want to wind up possessed by fucking demon spirits or whatever the fuck they are. As for everything else, well, I guess we can just leave that up to our own individual discretion. I'm not going to tell anybody else how to act, and for Christ's sakes, I want my own independent domain in the city. I don't really care who's prince. And I'm going to tell the rest of the sect who to be rest of the clan who to be loyal to.
What's the leader of a clan called?
Don't really have those sorts of names or titles.
Huh. Maybe we should.
Oh.
Man, Nick, do we actually have a term? Let's say, because can I make a with my Gangrel specialty in lore what I know term?
I don't think they actually do. I don't think clans actually have titles for like who is in charge of stuff. It's just you're the elder of a clan, so you're kind of assumed to be in charge, but that's kind of fell apart when her arm got blown off by a shotgun.
There's the Priscus in there, but I think that's more citywide or
Yeah.
covenant side.
It's like a clan. Yeah, you can have Plan Prisca. You can do that too.
Julian would bring that up. If we're gonna put a name on it.
You know, I did find it amusing how the prince never appointed any Prisca. Kind of led to shit. I guess it makes sense. It would lead to shit like this, right? Stops us from organizing.
Yeah, so we need a single voice we report shit to, and then they spread it out around the rest of the clan. So who wants to be that?
Is there actual silencer or the cacophony of voices saying they want to do it?
There are three figures. Mona's arm violently grows into a gnarled claw. She just sort of stares at Damien, and all of you heard silence is enough to gauge her intent. But,
If we're Gooden would say, if we're going to appoint a leader, let's actually have some qualifications. So if we're going to go with the old ways, the common one is obviously the strongest of us all. But I think that'd be a bit too simple for this kind of situation. So, I guess I would say my next thing after that is, who actually knows most of the people here on an intimate level, not just simply dossiers?
the woman with dark hair steps forward.
Actually,
Hola.
Ma'am.
If required and you need a neutral voice, I'll stand for the role. My name is Hermione. I know most people here. And those that I don't, I know at least in passing, such as yourselves. Can roll me intelligence politics. Or Julian can roll me that Gangrel law.
Yeah. Holy shit. Oh, didn't see
yeah.
that coming.
So sorry, I was just force is so close to an exceptional.
I think I got 4 successes on 4 dice, I'm happy.
4 successes is like coming 4th in a race, so close but so far. It's just the worst number of successes to get. You are aware of this person, Hermione level. A young elder, not as powerful as Mona, and not as infamous as the wolf. But you have heard tales, particularly from younger Gangrel, of her. Acting on the clan's behalf many times. Using the powers gifted to her by the crone. To gift her clan protection when shelter, or some manner of blessing when they needed her. In many ways, she is regarded as someone who's acted as sort of a pseudo sheriff for the Gangrel at times. She's they'll speak of her as some sort of vampiric Dresden, a cult protective of sorts.
Wasn't spending a Dresden reference today. That's nice. Julian just kind of looks at her and nods and, I guess, knowing approval. And see if anybody else tries to challenge her on it.
I'll fucking do it.
Julian kind of looks at it. I mean, says it's not as major shade just from what he's seen from Damien, and goes, "He never seemed like a person that really wants a lot of responsibility."
I know, but I'm the one bringing answers.
Then I guess my question is: do you really think you can do it, or do you know that you can do it, or do you think you can do it?
This is just the person that's acquired. This is the person that's just getting information and distributing to the rest of the clan, right?
Yeah. Unless we want to go really formal and have an actual clan leader.
Oh.
But I think that's our elders anyways, I don't know. This is just so we can actually better supply each other with the actual information. Like, no one knew the sheriff and the prince were the same person. I'm kind of hung up on that. Like, been 20 years, no one's figured that out.
Oh, I think outside of I wouldn't say outside of that. I would say most of us honestly aren't that involved in politics. So mostly, which I guess maybe we should work on.
Georgia will stand forward then and say, well, we want to make this new neonate our go-to for information. Stamp your feet on the ground and say aye. And if not, well, you can whimper no.
I'll say yay.
There's a resounding stamping of the feet on the ground and a yay. Yeah. Lenistav, and to you, Damien, a complete stranger just walks up to you, pats you on the shoulder and says, "Welcome to the firing line, kiddo." Walks off.
Julian will actually go up and present his hand to Damien to give it a handshake.
I'll shake his hand.
Godspeed to you, brother. And he'll say this, even though it may sound maybe corny or old, and go, "Man, you do what I said, light your way."
So that's the problem with distribution of information when the clan's sorted. What else we gotta do? Actually, weird side tangent. Did you know there's a cat girl in the city?
What?
Back on the cat girl.
Yeah, there's like a cat girl in the city apparently.
What does that mean?
Like she's a woman that's a cat. This
So-
this Dave I know saw her. Like she's not like a werewolf. Like she described it as like feline.
Now that kind of raises Julian's attention. Like, oh, you're not referring to another gangrel. Then I have no idea.
She said she taught at like a tarot shop, I think, antique shop.
I thought and I didn't even know there were
She
beings outside. But
She went there to meet one of the crones, and there was so it might have been like a herbal shop, maybe. But anyway, there was like this cat-looking woman. It was weird. Apparently, we were really like weirded out by it. It was strange.
I mean, takes a long blink.
Weird tangent, but like it just came into my head. I was like, that's weird. I should ask someone who knows about that.
I do. Though I'm concerned how you ran into them.
Well, as I said, like I got this David friend. She just fucking saw them when she went out to visit the Circle of the Crown. Pretty sure she's convinced it was a werewolf, and I was like, werewolves aren't cats.
No. No, they are. They are a hunter of sorts, though.
Alright, well, as long as we know about that, like, I just wanted to make sure. It's like that weird side tangent side quest we can do later.
so they're not a priority then.
No, it's just a cat girl.
No,
Well-
she will not bother you so long as you do not bother her. Or come into the possession of something that she is looking for.
Oh, now you got my attention. What did she look for?
Maybe we should talk about this later.
Yeah, let's talk about this later. This is a side quest.
It's not relevant right now to our needs as a clan. I feel as if we have discussed all we need to. Now we can go our separate ways again.
I'm happy if everyone else is happy.
The clan has all it needs, and I believe that's all that's important. To which most of the Gangrel seem fairly... People seem to be breaking off into their own cliques again.
Damien just continues to like hang around Isabel. She's just left home after all.
Julia would look over to Damien and Isabel and kind of nod his head in approval and say, I know this probably doesn't mean much for me, but good work.
Thanks.
Find out some more about that PMC before you go into it. Like, that's super dodgy. Like, for both you and your friend.
He nods his head at that. With the information that you brought me, I have a reason to be a bit more cautious. At the time, outside the favor, it was a thing that the prince owned, and I didn't much care for it, so breaking his stuff made me happy.
I respect it. Sometimes you just want to break shit. Hey, where can I get one of those fire shotguns?
Not from me.
God damn
Is
it.
that fire shotgun guy?
Look, this shit's in short supply.
Question, actually, out of character. Was he the one they referred to as the Archon? Because I know someone got referred to as the Archon at one point.
Yeah, he was referred to as an Archon.
Oh.
Shit's in short supply. I don't need anybody waving it around for everybody to see. I certainly don't want to be putting it into the hands of anyone, even my own clan.
Alright, that's fair. But after the war?
No.
Alright.
Julia would look over to Damien and say, if you really think you need one that badly, I don't know if he can give you exactly what he has, but find Marcus Irons. He's been working on some designs.
Might do that. I mean, I just want to be able to say I have a fire shotgun.
See him handing him around and coming for his head.
So somewhat related, I might, have you talked to Alexander at all?
Not really.
Not you, the Archon. She was asking me too.
Alexander?
Yeah, he's Constantine's childer. Just recently arrived in the city. I don't know if you've met him.
Not my circus.
He's leading the sewer expedition the Guardians want to do, as far as I'm aware. Because he's
And
like expert on the elves or some shit, I don't know.
I have a word with him.
I think he's also able to make weapons that are
more effective in fighting the owls.
Hmm.
Kind of looked at the shotgun. You seem like a person that might be interested in something like that.
I find that fire is a pretty effective weapon.
I mean, that's fair. There's also that, but said options, especially if we're taking, at the very least, we're taking the stand of owls bad. If we can't agree on anything else in this,
We gotta
gestures
survive.
vaguely at everyone.
We gotta survive, and if we allow them to fester in the city, they'll kill all of us.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
So we can agree on that. At this point, several Gangrel have already left. Their business concluded, their personal matters attended to, from that perspective. Lannister seems to have taken his leave as well. Damien, Hermione will give you her number.
Thanks.
She'll, looks like you're moving up in the world.
Slowly getting to a point where I can diabolize Isabella without getting punished for it.
Don't joke about that.
Isabel just rolls her eyes at him.
Don't joke about that.
Alright, sorry.
It's always good to see new blood taking some responsibility for our own. Certainly preferable to the alternative.
Look, I saw some fucked up shit in the sewers, and as far as I'm concerned, that has to be dealt with.
You're right. She would like you to help. But I should probably take my leave. And actually get to work on that. I'll keep you in touch with anything else I find out in the city.
Thank you.
You may, Damien.
And you.
And I think if maybe there's anything else to add, that would be a good place to end our scene. Thank you guys for coming to watch us watching. We'll see you all next time. Bye bye.